North Korea remains one of the most secretive and tightly controlled nations in the world today. Much of what the world knows about this country, its society, and its harsh authoritarian rule comes from the testimonies of those who have managed to escape, often facing unimaginable dangers along the way. But what is life truly like for women serving in North Korea's military? Some women are forced into becoming members of Kim Jong Un's so-called pleasure squads, a disturbing and hidden part of life that the regime's powerful propaganda works tirelessly to conceal. What pushes these women to take on such roles? And what does their experience reveal about life under the suffocating grip of North Korea's totalitarian rule? Life in the barracks is incredibly tough for female soldiers, with many sleeping on mattresses filled with rice hulls. These holes absorb moisture quickly, leading to damp and uncomfortable conditions. Along with cramped living spaces, the soldiers face limited access to basic amenities, including reliable electricity and other essential needs. Before the year 2015, female soldiers had to improvise sanitary pads using bandages due to a severe shortage of proper supplies. The harsh environment, combined with poor nutrition, took a serious toll on their health and overall well-being. But the difficulties don't end inside the barracks. Outside, the facilities are basic at best. Showers often consist of cold water from hoses, and it's common for small creatures like frogs or snakes to crawl through the pipes. These uncomfortable conditions highlight not just the physical strain, but the overall lack of proper infrastructure to support the troops. Moreover, female soldiers are often forced to navigate the rigid military hierarchy, where their needs are far from prioritized. What does this say about their lives, and how does it reflect the broader military system in North Korea? Stay tuned as we continue to uncover untold stories from North Korea and beyond, providing you with unique insights not covered by the mainstream media. Exercises in powerful identification. One of the harsh realities faced by women in the North Korean military holds a dark and controversial secret. Despite their strength and resilience, many see the military as a safer option compared to another troubling alternative, Kim Jong Un's so-called pleasure squads. But what exactly are these squads? The origins of these groups date back to Kim Jong Un's grandfather, Kim Il-sung. Known locally as Keep Jumo, the concept began during his rule and continued under Kim Jong-il. After Kim Jong-il passed away in the year 2011, these squads were temporarily disbanded, only to be revived in the year 2015 under Kim Jong-il. So, what exactly do these squads do? In essence, the pleasure squads are made up of women selected to serve the leader and high-ranking officials. Reports suggest that as many as 2,000 women are divided into three main groups. The first group serves the leader and top generals directly, the second focuses on providing massages and comfort, and the third performs music and dance at social events. When Kim Jong-il took power, a height restriction was put in place for these women. None could be taller than 165 centimeters, likely due to the leader's shorter stature. These young women, once chosen, lived in the leader's residence and were called upon to host gatherings for senior officials. Their service could last as long as 10 years before they were transitioned into arranged marriages with military officers. Upon assuming power, Kim Jong Un initially disbanded the squads, reportedly because of a lack of trust in those who were loyal to his father. Each woman was given the equivalent of $44,000 in household appliances as a farewell gift. However, just 4 years later, in the year 2015, Kim Jong Un brought these squads back into existence. Despite their strength and perseverance, female soldiers in North Korea continue to face significant hardships. The strict regime often seems to prioritize control and loyalty above the welfare of these women, subjecting them to an incredibly demanding and tightly controlled existence. Before we dive deeper, I have a quick favor to ask from all of you listening. If you could take a moment to hit the notification bell and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Your support really helps us grow and improve the show, and if you do, my team and I will work hard to bring you even better content. Deal? Let's take a deeper look into the harsh realities faced by these soldiers. Defectors have shared troubling stories of women trapped in difficult and often unjust situations. In many cases, those from less privileged backgrounds are assigned to physically demanding jobs, like construction brigades, where the working conditions are particularly harsh, and the environment less secure. Even when there might be opportunities to seek help, many women choose not to report these experiences out of deep fear of the consequences. There are disturbing accounts of officers holding female soldiers beyond their duties or subjecting them to invasive examinations under the guise of checking their health. If these women were to speak out, it could have disastrous effects on their future, including their chances of joining the powerful Korean Workers' Party. Being excluded from this party can bring a lifetime of social and professional hardships. These circumstances often leave women feeling powerless to voice their concerns, forcing them to silently endure mistreatment. If an unexpected pregnancy were to occur, female soldiers are expected to deal with it in secret and with haste. Their goal is to avoid any complications, as military intervention could involve procedures that are both physically and emotionally traumatic, with minimal or no medical support. But the challenges these women face don't end there. The strict disciplinary measures within the military make life even more difficult for them. Life in North Korea's military, especially for female soldiers, is defined by strict discipline and incredibly demanding expectations. Jennifer Kim, a former soldier, opened up about her experiences, revealing a tough and unforgiving environment. In their service, even the smallest mistake made by one individual could lead to shared responsibility or collective punishment for the entire group. This system highlights the extreme importance placed on teamwork and vigilance. Kim described the intense nature of their daily routines, which sometimes required soldiers to endure long hours in freezing temperatures, dressed in little more than basic clothing. As part of resilience training, on occasion, soldiers were asked to complete up to 100 laps while fully dressed in their military gear, a clear focus on building endurance and perseverance. One particularly grueling exercise, Kim recalled, involved dipping their hands into freezing cold water and then placing them on icy metal surfaces. This method was designed to strengthen mental toughness in the face of harsh conditions. These experiences provide a glimpse into the disciplined and unyielding environment of North Korea's military, a place where resilience, teamwork, and commitment are constantly emphasized. How do these experiences compare to what you know about military life in other parts of the world? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever wondered what life is like for women in North Korea's military? Like their male counterparts, female soldiers spend their days not only training with military drills, but also taking on labor-intensive tasks, ranging from farming to construction. In this world, everyone is expected to pull their weight, but what's often overlooked is the additional burden women face due to traditional drills. Leaked footage has shown female soldiers working tirelessly in the fields, clearing farmland and carrying heavy loads like firewood and rocks on their backs. These women are expected to do the same physically demanding work as their male colleagues, but their day doesn't end there. They live longer, are more physically intelligent, and absorb more cost-effective work compared to their fellow soldiers. In the North Korean military, women also have to take on domestic duties that men don't have to worry about. They are referred to as cooking potlit drivers, a title that reflects their primary role in kitchen chores. After completing their exhausting labor, these women are responsible for preparing meals and maintaining cleanliness for the entire unit. Once those tasks are done, they return to their cramped quarters, often shared with as many as 24 other women. Each soldier has a small bunk with a set of drawers. Above the bunk, it is mandatory to display photographs of the country's leaders, traditionally Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong Il. Recent reports suggest that this has now expanded to include the current leader, Kim Jong Un. What makes this lifestyle even harder? Imagine doing all of this with inadequate food supplies and basic amenities. Reports indicate that malnutrition and poor living conditions are common among soldiers, painting a difficult picture of life for women serving in North Korea's military. They face the dual challenge of being soldiers and caretakers, with little recognition for the added responsibilities they bear. The introduction of mandatory military service for women marked a significant shift, driven by the country's growing manpower shortages and declining birth rates. This change reflects the increasing pressures on the North Korean military, where the role of women is now more critical than ever. The famine that lasted from the year 1994 to the year 1998 had a devastating effect on North Korea's population, leading to a significant shortage of military personnel. In response, the government began actively recruiting women to fill this gap. However, like most armed forces around the world, enlisting in North Korea's military isn't as simple as just signing up. Recruits must pass a series of physical tests and medical exams. Interestingly, since the year 2012, a new height requirement was introduced for female recruits. Women must be at least 1.42 meters tall, or roughly 4 feet 6 inches. However, this rule isn't always strictly enforced. While it's not officially confirmed, there are rumors that exceptionally talented service entirely. Before the year 2015, many women still voluntarily joined the North Korean military. But why? The answer lies in the perks of membership in the Korean Workers' Party. Once accepted, women gained access to privileges beyond military service. Inside the army, benefits like increased rations, better job prospects, and higher salaries became available. In a country where food rations were often limited to just a bowl of rice, cabbage soup, and salted radish, these perks were especially appealing, particularly for those stationed in the freezing conditions of Pyongyang. So what do you think about the implications of mandatory military service in North Korea? Share your thoughts in the comments below. When female soldiers in North Korea complete their mandatory military service, they often face a reality that many outside the country might not be aware of: state-arranged marriages. The partners chosen for them are typically men deemed politically loyal or those whom the state believes need a spouse. This practice is not merely a personal choice, but rather a reflection of North Korea's tight control over its citizens, especially women. These state-arranged marriages are framed as a social duty, reinforcing loyalty to the regime and upholding the patriarchal values that are deeply ingrained in North Korean society. Even after completing their military service, women are expected to continue fulfilling roles that fit within the country's rigid authoritarian structure. However, the contrast between these state-arranged marriages and the regime's portrayal of empowered female soldiers raises an important question. Why does North Korea insist on promoting an image of gender equality while imposing such strict control over the personal lives of these women? For years, North Korean films and state-run media have presented female soldiers marching in flawless formation, carrying out their duties side by side with men, and confidently wielding weapons. These carefully crafted images aim to promote the idea of gender equality and empowerment within the military ranks. But what lies beneath this portrayal? According to a study published by the Korea Institute for National Unification in the year 2022, nearly 40% of North Korea's armed forces are women. This figure, which is almost half, seems to support the regime's image of equality. Yet a closer look reveals a much darker reality, as reports from defectors paint a different picture, one where female soldiers endure immense hardships. North Korea's propaganda machine has a clear agenda. On one hand, it seeks to convince the international community that North Korea is a progressive society that values and empowers its women. On the other, it aims to foster unity and patriotism among its people, feeding them a polished, idealized version of life that is far removed from the truth. So, what lies at the core of North Korea's portrayal of female soldiers? It's more than just propaganda. It's a carefully constructed illusion designed to mask the harsh realities these women face in uniform. By controlling this narrative, the regime ensures its grip on both its citizens and the global perception of the country. And while the regime projects a facade of equality through its depiction of female soldiers, the reality of government-controlled career paths reveals how deeply the lives of North Korean women are dictated by state decisions, leaving them with little room for personal freedom or ambition. In North Korea, ordinary women are also subjected to a set of strange regulations that dictate nearly every aspect of their lives. When it comes to career choices, personal preferences are out of the question. It's the government that decides where you will work. Imagine being assigned a job and being told to stick with it for the rest of your life. For most North Korean women, this is the reality. They don't have the freedom to pursue their passions or interests. Instead, they must conform to a rigid job allocation system designed to ensure what the state calls efficient resource management. So, how does this system work? The authorities assess the needs of each sector and then assign citizens to jobs based on the state's priorities. Refusing these assignments comes with severe consequences. This strict system shapes the mindset of North Korea's youth. Most grow up understanding that following their dreams is simply not an option. They are taught to accept what's handed to them, with no opportunity to chase their ambitions. This lack of personal choice has contributed to a stagnant economy, one that lacks the innovation and dynamism needed for progress. When citizens are denied the chance to realize their full potential, the country's development inevitably suffers. Despite these harsh conditions, North Korean women display remarkable resilience. Many take on the role of primary breadwinners in their families, navigating a challenging environment with determination. Their ability to adapt and survive in such a controlled society speaks volumes about their strength and spirit, even when so much is out of their hands. In North Korea, beauty standards are another set of rules that women must follow, heavily influenced by the country's conservative ideologies. For example, did you know that even the types of nail polish or skincare products women use are closely monitored by the authorities? Since the end of World War II, wearing makeup has been discouraged due to the country's political and cultural divide. With South Korea, this restriction has created a difficult environment for North Korean women, who, despite limited access to global fashion trends, still desire cosmetics. This desire has given rise to an underground market for smuggled beauty products. To counter this, the North Korean government established a state-run cosmetics company to control the production and distribution of beauty items. Interestingly, wearing red lipstick is strictly prohibited, as it is considered too bold and goes against the values of socialism. Despite this, some women have found ways to resist these rules, opting for more subtle shades that align better with the regime's preference for modesty and simplicity. These policies highlight the ongoing tension between personal expression and the strict government regulations. It raises an important question: how does this clash affect the daily lives of women in North Korea? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. As North Korean women navigate government-imposed beauty standards, they also face a more daunting reality: 7 years of mandatory military service. This reveals just how deeply the regime controls both their personal lives and their place in society. Since January of the year 2015, a strict law has required all women aged 17 and older to serve in the military for a period of 7 years. This policy change was introduced to ease the burden on men, whose service, originally set to last 13 years, was later reduced to 11 years. The impact of such a system on society is undeniable, and the numbers tell a clear story. Women now make up more than 10% of the North Korean military. Their inclusion is not merely a policy decision, it is tied to the country's turbulent history. Today, North Korea's military reportedly has over 1,200,000 soldiers, ranking it as the fourth largest armed force in the world. When it comes to mandatory service, North Korea's requirements are among the longest globally. In conclusion, while the regime portrays an image of gender equality by incorporating women into the military, the reality for female soldiers tells a different story. Beneath the surface of patriotism and equal duty, there are harsh conditions, gender discrimination, and limited acknowledgement of women's sacrifices. These hidden truths not only reflect the broader societal values in North Korea, but also underscore the challenges women face in a system that values control and propaganda over true equality. Understanding these aspects provides a clearer view of the complexities surrounding female military service in one of the world's most secretive nations. If you found today's video interesting, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support really helps us grow. Take a moment to click on the video that's popping up on your screen now. I'm sure it'll capture your attention. And let us know in the comments which country you'd like us to explore next. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.